Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Change Starts With Us. I'm James Cronenberger, the founder of Change Starts With Us and the former founder of Fair Treatment Reform and Reentry, a group that was started several years ago that became very successful, and I'm very proud of all those that made that group what it is today. One of my concerns is, and I've spoke to several inmates this week, is their rights are really being violated. Not just in Ohio. I received a couple calls from Texas this week. I should say this weekend. That they're not getting the proper medical care, proper recreation for some of the institutions, depending on the security level, and spending way too much time in segregation. We all know that is cruel and unusual. There's been so many studies on it that said it causes a lot of mental distress, especially in our juvenile system. I don't believe there should be any segregation of any sort or any kind. Kids are kids, and kids are not always going to behave. That's why you have proper discipline, not throwing them in a segregation like that can destroy them for the rest of their lives. We as people, we as advocates, we need to start fighting for these rights of inmates. We cannot let them go without proper medical care. We cannot let them go with lack of programming. We cannot let it go for them to come out homeless. We need to be there. We need to fight for their rights. We need to get over this ignorant attitudes from so many people that they cannot work with someone because they don't like him, they don't like his past. They're not advocates. They never will be. An advocate is a person that puts aside his personal opinions on people and works for the better cause, and that is to help others out. When I walked out of Marion Correctional, January 24, 2011, I had a real good friend by the name of Gerald Loomer, and I've shared this story many times before when I spoke in front of people. He was a sickly man. At one time, he spent, I think it was close to 6 months at the James Hospital for cancer, and that got knocked into remission. At least we thought it did. But later on, he lost a leg due to a lack of medical care. They even gave him the wrong size leg. It was very painful. He couldn't walk. But when I walked out of that door, because I knew this man was innocent, I said, I'll never forget you, and I will fight for you. And we did that. As much as we could. We had a fundraiser. We raised over $500 for an attorney. We had an attorney that agreed to help him pro bono. Then I got a call from Gerald's sister, and she said they took him off the feeding tube at Corrections Reception Center at the time, and now it's FMC. And the doctors at OSU told him never to take him off the feeding tube. Well, he died around a half hour after they took the feeding tube out. So we're getting ready to give Joel Spitzer the money that we raised for his attorney fees. He said use it towards his funeral. And I tell you, I've never felt so much warmth from people when he said use it towards his funeral. And Gerald is the one that really inspired me. He told me when I get out, because he was down on murder that he was innocent of. He said, don't judge anyone. You don't know their story. You don't know if they're guilty. And you were not there. And I've used that advice. And I'm going to continue to use that advice from such an awesome friend. I even had the privilege, and I'm saying privilege as much as I don't like funerals. Um, my outside brother, that was my outside brother when I was at Marion Correctional, and his wife, Phil Conway, took me to Gerald's funeral. It was in Coshocton, Ohio. So it was a couple hour drive from Columbus. My brother lived out there at the time, and he met us afterwards. And I took my brother out to eat, or he did. I forget if he paid or I paid, but we took. I think I do because I took care of Phil and his wife. And from that day on, I continued. We will go on. I had the passion, I had the drive, I still do, and it's exciting just to see some of the people that are coming forward now that are willing to help. And change starts with us. We're going to be focused on a little bit different areas. One is wrongful convictions and educating society on the criminal justice system inside the prisons. Nothing can change if the public don't know. If you don't bring out awareness, what do you expect to change? I don't see how you can change anything. So this is a plea to people to pull together, to join forces with us, and let's work to get the fair and proper medical and treatment of inmates behind bars, not just in Ohio, but nationwide. We have great contact in Florida. My friend Jay Bird's out there. Georgia, we have contacts. Illinois. So we just need to learn about the other systems and say enough is enough. The inmates are people, and I like to call them restored citizens because they are, in my opinion, they are restored. And I don't, in Ohio, we have two laws, like we've explained so many times before. And for those that aren't in Ohio, we'll explain it again. Truth in sentencing took effect in July 1st of 1996. But anybody before that day was under the old law, and everyone had to see the parole board. They had to do 2/3 of the time before they saw the parole board. Then they'd go to the parole board, and it was pretty much in the norm. The first time you'd automatically get flopped or continued, as the parole board says. And that is still pretty much what is happening, except the Rhonda Head lawsuit that came up board. She did get a parole her first time up because the parole board didn't recognize her record and her behavior while she was locked up. I believe that's the reason. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me. So that was a case that, that I'm hoping more and more inmates will file on that, because I think you can actually win it. But like I said, anybody before July 1st of 1996 had to see the parole board. They had to do 2/3 of their time. Anybody after July 1st of 1996 received flat time, like say 5 years flat, 8 years flat, 10 years flat, except murder. They would still get a life sentence. And some sex cases. Those were the only ones. Like for my case, mine was 2 counts of attempted kidnapping. I would have only got 8 years under the new law. Of course, we have reporters that don't like to really tell the truth on your case or report the truth, so they'll go automatically what they read. And they weren't there, but they want to destroy your name. We have that happening. And I think we really need to stand up for it. And I don't think any organization should ever back down, because then that's a sign of weakness. And we are getting stronger. We have such great people that are involved that, it is really exciting to see the changes that are going to take place. And with the networking, bringing people together of all races, religions, genders, we will win. I remember the saying that George Bush Senior said, well, the father Bush said many years ago, and actually I was at the rally in Strongsville, Ohio, when he said it there. No new taxes. Well, no more unfair treatment. So we need to say that too, and we won't lose an election on that one. No more unfair treatment. Let's remind ourselves when we're at protest, bring signs that says no more unfair treatment. I would like to go over some of our events, if I may. On January 25th, from 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., we have a fundraiser at City Barbecue. It is under Fair Treatment Reform and Reentry. We're sharing with them whatever we make. If you'd like one of our coupons, please email us at changebeginswithus4sure@gmail.com. Again, that is changebeginswithus4sure@gmail.com. February 15th, we have a networking meeting in Columbus at the United Methodist Church for All People on February 15th from 1 to 3 p.m. Join us that day and bring literature on your group. Network, talk to people. We'll have a chance that people can introduce themselves and share amongst themselves. Share amongst the group and try to bring everybody together. And that's what we're hoping to. That is February 15th. Then we're hoping to, in May, to have an auction. We're waiting to hear back, on some locations. We'll keep you posted on that in May, and I'm waiting for the date on that. I know the date, I just can't remember it. It's on a Saturday. We're having a night at the Clippers game. They're going to recognize that group on the scoreboard. The tickets will be around, I think the tickets are $10, and senior citizens are even less. So we need to sell those tickets. We need people to join us, for that event. And then July 11th at 946 Parsons Avenue, United Methodist Church for All People again, we're hosting a wrongful conviction conference. And we're really excited with the possibilities on this because we want to bring out awareness, on what is actually happening. And a lot of people don't think there's that many people that are wrongfully convicted or innocent, but there's quite a few. And it's a great place to network with each other, talk, view the vendor tables, have some refreshments, and our board would like to have a chance to meet with you. Vendor tables are $20 that day. So if you'd like a table, we're limited though to like 6 tables. But if you'd like a table, that would be great. Please let us know. We have a PayPal that you can pay through. You need to be paid in advance because we're using that money towards the refreshments. Okay, everyone, I do appreciate all your kindness and all your support over the years. From my time with Ohio Care, Amy Wix's group, In the Name of Justice, Fair Treatment Reform and Reentry, and now Change Starts With Us. We will win. And again, if you'd like to contact us, Change Begins With Us for sure @gmail.com. Change Begins With Us for sure @gmail.com or 614-404-4924. Have a great day, everyone.